Okay, so we've been way through the Primarchs, talking about that with the Lord Kant. Let's leave off that subject for now.
I agree.
We are we need to do something with the 8th edition. We have a new edition. We have an empire that's turning into something new.
And it's torn in half.
And what can come of that?
Are we talking about Warhammer Age of the Primarchs again?
We're trying not to.
We're trying not to. Really trying not to. We would, I think, maybe...
Welcome to Night Errant. This is the show where we smoke cigarettes, have drinks, and rant about stuff. I guess by now, if you're a subscriber, you probably know what's going on here. If you're not, hit the subscribe button, because this channel also have some really good tutorials.
Yep. So, actually, since you just called it Age of the Primarchs, the New Age of the Primarchs, the New Age Primarchs. Wait, no, that's
the Renaissance of the Primarchs.
The Renaissance of the Primarchs. This is, I think, more of where we think the universe is going, where we want it to go, or something like that.
I actually really want that single character for the Necrons who breaks the rules, like the Primarchs do in some ways. Like Magnus the Red, like Gilliman.
You want either the Dragon of Mars or the Silent King, or are they the same person? Or you want that big ass plastic model that really shouldn't be that big, but it's awesome that it fills half the table.
Yeah, I really do, because I want something that says, we are older than you, we have less fucks to give than you.
I have a feeling that with the release of the Necron Codex, they will make a Nagash-sized plastic model.
Yeah, I have that feeling as well.
Because
I'm not sure it's going to be the Silent King.
They might do like they did with the Grey Knights and just make up an entirely new guy.
Yeah.
Which I'm glad they did, because if they had released another Khaldor Drago, I might actually have burned down the Copenhagen Games Workshop store. Oh, sorry, Warhammer store.
Yeah.
Apparently, we're not the only ones feeling that, though. I heard a podcast yesterday, and it seems like people are generally agreeing that Khaldor Drago just needs to be silently forgotten. Nobody wants to talk about him. He's just annoying, and he's too Mary Sue, and he never loses, and he's just...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with that. He even snuck into Warhammer Fantasy lore.
Yeah, which is cool. He just has to stay there.
As one who is a great fan of Warhammer Fantasy lore, I'm not sure I agree. It could do without that.
Yeah, but Warhammer Fantasy has so much lore that you can easily just navigate around him. He takes up a lot of space in the 40k universe.
He really does, but let's not get into those Space Marines again.
We could talk a bit about how much we hate Khaldor Drago if we wanted to. But no, I actually get it. Let's look at the other factions and where their big plastic model might come with their codex releases.
Yeah.
Well, we can't be just talk about other factions and the Empire, but other than the Space Marines. Because one thing that I really hope the direction of the story is going is...
I'm the worst narrator ever, and I'm going to interrupt you now. It's not a Primarch. I want Luther to get a model.
Yeah, that would be nice, actually.
Yeah.
He's still alive. And if the lion comes back, he can forgive him, and then he could come back and be like a super demon host.
Either that, or he could escape, or whatever.
But he don't want to escape. He's been rambling for 10,000 years that he just wants to be forgiven and come back to the fold.
But he could get escaped by somebody.
Yeah.
But
that's a discussion.
Yeah. That's another topic story. But it's just how we were talking about new plastic kits, and I saw all these triumvirates, 3 minis in a box, and I was like, I want Luther. I so want Luther. And
actually, what you want is you want
the
lion,
Luther, and preferably Sahariel, because I don't want Cypher to be Sahariel.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about it, and I don't want Cypher to be Sahariel, because that would mean that Sahariel is not the guy that I been following and really like. He has morphed and has become really not that guy. Because Zahariel were always the true knight. Even though he became a librarian and all that, he was the true knight, and Cypher is not that.
No.
But I really hope happens with the Empire in general is I want a new civil war.
Yeah,
and I
totally
want that civil war to be between those who are loyal to the Emperor and those who are loyal to the Empire.
Yeah, agree.
Actually, and maybe even a third faction.
Yeah, I would actually...
Those who are loyal to the new Empire as
I would actually like the Ecclesiarchy and the Black Templars.
Yeah, those who are loyal to the Emperor.
Yeah, to spearhead the religious crusade. And I would actually like the 500 Worlds to join that faction. Because Gilliman, as I see it, is slowly but surely giving up on changing the past 10,000 years. He is disillusionized. He has learned that his father always just saw him as a tool, and now he's using him as a political tool. He is seeing his new Primaris Marines as little more than boulder shells. He is suddenly an interesting character, and would fit right in there as the leader, where they can all say, look at him, and fiery sword, and blah blah blah, and he could be, oh, this sucks ass. And what would be even greater, enter? Oh, we're talking about Primaris again. But enter the Lion and his retinue, who are suddenly the not broody, not lying guys, because Gilliman knows his father is not a god in that sense. He knows he didn't want to be worshipped. But imagine him in the head of the Ecclesiarchy side of a civil war, and the Dark Angels being the ones who are calling the bluffs and not being the liars. Because they have been staying true to the original idea, but have had to keep it secret due to the Inquisition. That would be so interesting. But now we opened it up. Now the world is a new one. What would we like to see all these other factions do with that?
I would like to see a new Hive Fleet.
A new Hive Fleet?
At least a new large splinter fleet. I would like to see the Tyranids start to consume the galaxy.
Agreed. I really want them to stay with the fleets that are currently in the lore, though, because I like it when they respect people's investments in models and painting.
Especially painting, I get that. Because
models are not free, you know.
No, that's not what I'm saying. But you could have the same models, but a different paint scheme for a new Hive Fleet. What I'm saying is, I would like for the Tyranid threat to become more than marginalized.
I think when Baal fell and the most Blood Angel successor chapters are dead. I mean, basically, all the Blood Angel successor chapters that are not being played in your gaming group are dead, is basically what they said.
Okay.
They will not be specific, but the Tyranids ate them. And then Gilliman came, and that was all. And then the galaxy was ripped apart, and we have is it Leviathan? I don't remember. But they were sucked into the rift. And all as happy, yay! We defeated a Hive Fleet they were sucked into the warp. Yes, because a Hive Fleet has never ever emerged from the warp. And what I would like to see there is what happens to all these Tyranids in the warp.
Exactly.
I would like to see new, insane power breeds. I know we're getting into the power creep story here, but I would really like to see something that goes up.
What happens when the Hive Fleet starts consuming demon genome into their...
because for now we've been learning they can't eat Necrons, they can't eat demons. But what happens when they're in the warp and forced to be there?
They evolve. Aspect. They actually have the demon here, not just the physical aspect. No, the actual demon.
And the Tyranid evolves.
Exactly.
And they are a psychically strong race. So why wouldn't they become taking the demon's aspects from them? And what I like to know is then this hive mind that we really would like nobody to ever tell us exactly what it is, because that's best. How does it in a mind game with the Chaos Gods? Who controls that? What comes out? And does the Tyranids, or the Imperium, or the Chaos guys, do they know what that is? And will we get some reaping, ravaging, scary monsters that sprouts from the warp, and perhaps even are kind of like a mixed breed? So like with the Genestealer cult, we get a transition army that could be either way depending on the battle and stuff.
That's one thing. Another thing is also when we're still talking about Tyranids, Tyranids going into the warp. Tyranids are still biologically living creatures with some sort of a mind. How does that affect the Chaos Guards?
Actually, the warp is formed by the emotions felt in the Materium.
Yeah, I know, but still.
So in the Immaterium, they shouldn't really affect anything.
No, except for now they. But now, if they show up in the warp, then the Chaos Guards are more forced to notice them on a different level, perhaps.
But I would say, in general, all emotions felt by. There are no emotions in a Tyranid organism. Yeah, emotion is for the hive mind.
Yeah, that's true.
I kind of disagree, because what happens when they lose synapse? They get afraid. They get angry. They go into their instincts.
Yeah,
but instinct carries some form of. I mean, Korn.
Yeah.
One of his deepest aspect is not as much emotion as it is the instinct to kill.
But the question is, when they were certain to the warp, do they lose their connection to the hive mind? Because if they don't lose their connection to the hive mind, then all emotion is felt outside this galaxy, maybe.
And then they could have. Oh, that's interesting. This is very, very,
but
very.
I still want to bring it back because in my mind there is Imperium versus Chaos.
Yeah. Which is the 8th edition story. Yeah. It was the 6th and 7th edition story.
And I get why it is that.
No, my point is, I actually think that is the right way to do it. Because you choose one of two sides in a major conflict. This makes it possible for new people to grasp. Yeah. Or you choose a specialist army and go pick a Xenos crew. That is, from a marketing perspective and from a storytelling perspective, insanely clever.
Yeah.
Because as much as we all love Space Marines versus Genestealers or Space Marines versus Orcs, it's niche.
Yeah. What I would like to say is, for me, as a Necron player, the big story is Necrons versus Tyranids. Not even versus Eldar, because that's ancient history.
Yeah, but that is so long ago.
The Tyranids are the enemy.
Other hunters.
Actually, the Silent King left this galaxy. He turned around when he saw the Hive fleets coming this way. And he went back and said, okay guys, listen up.
Actually,
forget everything else.
Actually, he said, we know what he meant.
Yeah. But we meant. No, he said he's trying to get everyone to get that this is not some small battle. This is a thing that consumed the galaxy. This is coming our way.
And also, I still like the theory that what we've seen of the Hive fleets, it's not the thing that consumed the galaxy. It's the small organisms that moves before it.
Yeah. However, what he's trying to say is, get your act together. I don't care if you're Chaos we can't handle because they are basically the Tyranids of our galaxy.
Have anyone tried box spray?
Yeah, and he wants everyone to unite against the Tyranids. That's our story. That's my story.
And by the way, don't get me wrong, I don't want them to release models for Planet Eaters where you actually have to get a crane to assemble them. Yeah. I want that big bad coming behind the Tyranids to be stopped before it arrives.
Yes. Yeah.
But I want it to be so close that we actually all believe they are going to Age of Sigmar us and destroy the galaxy, and then at the last moment some unlikely guardsman figures out something and kicks over a bucket in a hallway or something like that.
No, what I want is actually some kind of during the whole it is coming now. It is right outside our galaxy now. It is on the doorstep. somebody makes make some kind of psychic barrier or something like it cannot break through, then the Tyranids start putting somebody inside that's lesser than that needs to build something on the other side,
and then they get some new units that are interesting.
Yes,
and they could keep this going for a couple of editions actually.
Yes, and actually make it a psionic war between. the
Actually, I
and
changed my mind completely. I don't want it to be some guy. I want it to be one of the saints. I would actually like one of the saints to do something that mattered. I would like Saint Celestine to sacrifice herself.
I would like
to go up with her flaming sword, fly into the ether, and smash whatever's coming, burning herself up, smashing it back, because that would be proper epic.
Or actually, I want one of the Taus to do this for the greater good of the galaxy.
I kind of like the fact that the Tau are such a small empire that they're a minor inconvenience to everybody, except on the specific battlefield where they're powerful. But for the greater story, they're pretty much they're a footnote.
Yes, I want to get a word in, because what we want to do, what I actually want to happen is, if we're into the whole theory crafting stuff, I want the Silent King to go to Cadia, activate the pylons, sacrificing himself to do so, thus freeing up the Imperium.
I thought you wanted a model for him.
I do. I want a model for 2 editions. Then I want the big guys to sacrifice
themselves. So you have a 10-year plan here.
Yeah.
Or with the King's Workshop Speed's 6-month plan.
Yeah. Then I want the big guys to sacrifice themselves in return for his sacrifice, stopping chaos from consuming the galaxy. To go out and stop what's behind the Tyranids.
So he makes a deal with that Grey Knight guy, I don't remember who his name's it, and Kroll and all those guys saying, okay, screw you. You're so afraid of this Eye of Terror.
Yeah.
I've been thinking. And I kind of have fun watching you guys fail, but okay, I'll close it.
Yeah.
But if I do this thing, I'll have to sleep for 1,000 years or more.
Yeah.
Because obviously he will not be killed, because we've seen Asbjorn's die rolling, and no Necron will ever die permanently.
Yeah.
Reanimation.
Yeah, he will reanimate at some point, but there might be a slight delay on his reanimation protocol after this.
Yes, and then you want actually a galactic agreement, some accord, some epic place where people agree on we do this, and then Tyranids become the big bad because Chaos was defeated.
I don't want Chaos to be defeated forever.
No, I was like, no, they can't. But the rift and the Eye of Terror is closed.
Yeah.
So Chaos is suddenly more like the pirates and the underdogs.
Yeah.
Or actually, I just had an idea that could actually also be interesting, because Chaos is not interested in the galaxy being eaten either.
No, that is a really good point, but I sense a Masters of the Universe kind of plot going on there in your mind.
Yeah.
Where Skeletor and He-Man suddenly realizes that the big bully is actually worse than the bully in your classroom.
Actually, I figured just figured Chaos guys going out and stopping it, and maybe thus close. Actually, sacrificing
the Eye of Terror, but keeping the rift. I think would be more interesting.
Yeah,
actually.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because I liked the new Dark Imperium.
Yeah.
I would like it to have a conclusion as well. I like conclusions.
That's why I like the new direction 40K is taking.
But actually,
Magnus saying, "Wait a minute. If these guys eat us all, then my brand new planet of the sorcerers I just put into real space will be eaten as well.
Yeah.
That kind of sucks. I kind of hate you all, and I want you all to die, but I want my little planet to make it. Hey, Mortarion, I know we hate each other, but it seems like it's us.
Yeah.
And being the two most powerful beings in the universe, perhaps you and I could just for a moment put your differences aside, and
but also I want, the thing is, the Silent King, if we take him for a moment.
I'm sorry, it's not because I want to overrule you, it's just that the only thing I know about him is what you've been saying basically today.
The Silent King he was the king of the Necrontyr.
Yeah, but I know that, but I know nothing of him in current state.
In current state?
The last thing I knew of him was that he said, "Sayonara, Kochiyamahas."
He went outside the galaxy because he wanted to find a cure for the Necrons. After he led the Necrons' rebellions against the Catans, he was like, we need bodies. We can't find them in this galaxy, I'll find them in the next.
You should have gone to Cadia. They had bodies piling up.
Yeah.
Then he went around and said, okay, bodies are not important, Tyranids are important. They need to die.
Yeah.
That is actually a plotline that I'm pretty sure they would pick up on, because that's a setup if there ever was one.
Yeah, I know, but the thing is, he's like, in my mind, he's a Primarch.
What if he does that thing with the Pylons,
Yeah.
but not sacrificing himself, but basically turning them on, like in the stupid Blade movies where an UV light is bad for vampires?
Yeah.
That means the chaos are going, oh, the Pylons are so bad, I hate it, really don't like it. And then Magnus is like, hey dude, this kind of sucks because ow. And my Planet of the Sorcerers is slowly being sucked back and everything is going to shit. And you're a nasty person, I don't like you, and he is. And then Magnus is like, okay, here's a plan. You want to stop this, we need a psychic beam to shoot those assholes out of the sky. So you and me, buddy, we're gonna go to Terra. We're gonna kick a sack of bones off a chair, and even though I know when I sit down I will never be able to stand up again, I'm gonna sit my ass down there because it was built for me. I'm gonna log into that, and I'm gonna open that weapon that my father was building, because the Golden Throne was built for Magnus to sit in. Imagine what would happen if he actually took his newfound insane power and sat down in the Golden Throne and activated that defense system. That was meant to defend the galaxy.
Yeah. That's the thing. However, what I think is going to happen...
that would also mean the Emperor died, which would open the whole Starchild plot.
Yeah.
Because if he is a perpetual, he would just reincarnate.
Yeah.
If somebody would just put a bolt pistol to his forehead and blow it, he would reincarnate.
Yeah.
And that's what I think is... What I actually think is going to happen.
That he would reincarnate?
No, with the storyline in general.
Magnus would end up in his chair?
I'm not sure about that. What I think is going to happen in general terms is there will be a great civil war. And if they are willing to move the plot forward, that's the big F. If they are willing to continue to move the plot forward...
What they said, if I remember correctly, is that with the whole Dark Imperium setting, they have opened up a bag that they were not able to open up under previous management. So we have a staff who's been itching to get ideas out.
Yeah. What I think is the Starchild plot will happen. I really think so.
Yeah.
I think
I really hope they stay with the old story where the Starchild is just a fragment of the Emperor, because the Emperor would not be very interesting. I mean, they haven't even released him for Horus Heresy because so
I feel this, I win.
Yeah, I feel this, and he has this aura that means you lose. I get 1 victory point for every time I roll a die, and there is no stopping me from just rolling dice while I go out and have a cigarette.
No. But what I was going to say is, I think that the Starchild plot will happen. I think
what is really important there, though, they have so many buried, ancient, powerful beings in the galaxy that makes the Emperor look like a Starchild.
Yeah.
And they have to put something in to match him, and not on a 4x6 table, but in the lore.
Yeah.
I mean, if the Emperor reincarnates, roar, and you're reading the novel and you're like, oh, when this model comes out, I'm so gonna buy it to paint it. I'm not gonna field it because I like to have friends. Yeah. But I'm so gonna buy it to paint it. But then, a few pages later, the Dragon of Mars, or the actual Omnisire has actually been preparing for this for 100,000 years, knowing what was going to happen.
What I would be really cool with the whole Starchild plot is right now, at least, if the Emperor hasn't died a long time ago, then
he hasn't,
and he has,
and that is final.
His soul,
with Dark Imperium,
his soul is by now very fractured, and splintered into all. So who says he only reincarnates once?
Oh, so you're opening up. It's like, okay, Errant, yeah. You just spend all your money on upgrading to Primaris Marines? Yeah. Okay, now there is this new army. They're like people who are born, they're not grown, they're born. But they have a little splinter of the Emperor in them. And now they're like Primaris Marines, but they also have one more leadership and one more movement.
One was more like, basically 12 new Emperors reincarnating and all disagreeing on who's the real Emperor.
What I was going for is every objective marker in an Imperium versus Dark Imperium match is a fragment of the Emperor.
Now you're taking the Civil War for granted, though.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that will happen.
Yeah.
I like the mention. I don't remember where it was or if it was somebody theorizing, sadly. But somewhere, I think it was a Games Workshop thing, but it might have been somebody theorizing. I hate it when my brain does that. Anyway, that the Rock would be the only vessel able to just strafe over the rift, because we really need the Rock on the other side of the rift for all this to happen. Otherwise, we're stuck with the boring Imperium versus the fallen Imperium, and that's not what we want. We want the title to matter. We want Dark Imperium to actually they need to make their own beacon, because they can't travel. That beacon, the way I see it, the Tower of Angels is not a bad place to start.
Or we need the rift to at least get some holes in it.
There is holes. And there is a hole, I believe. This is the place where all the traitor knights, all the traitor knights are living there.
Yes.
And the point is, it's
to
like
the a-hole.
Yeah, you can go through there if the traitor knights want you to go through. Which means if you happen to be Chaos and they have an exceptionally good day, you can pass. But most likely they'll just shoot down whatever is there, just because it's much easier to pound it when it's down.
I really want the Civil War to happen. Can we agree on that?
Yeah, but I think the whole internet agrees that the Civil War needs to happen.
But I really love that.
And I really want Gilliman and the Lion to be shoulder by shoulder, out of necessity, in several epic battles, but on a large scale disagree. And I would like it to boil down to the fact that Gilliman would be like, "You ruined my sandcastle," and the Lion would be like, "You broke my sword."
And I would
because I really want them to be that pathetic. And because they're both daddy issue haunted man children who and Gilliman broke the Lion's sword over his knee. And the Lion kind of screwed up Gilliman's plan for a perfect sandcastle. And if Sanguinius had lived, he would once again make his brothers understand that every little thing is gonna be alright. But it is not, because Sanguinius is fighting. Oh, and one more thing. The next person who theory crafts that Sanguinius is coming back is...
Right when Horus does.
Well?
He's coming back right when Horus does. Inside his mind.
But I'm like, yes, there was a piece of artwork with an angel. And we have not seen a single saint ever in this universe.
I would like, however, for
if they bring
Primarch train again.
I can say this right now. If they bring him back, I think actually I'm out. Because then nothing matters. His death is so core a part of the story. I can live with the fact that Perpetuals lives and exists and reincarnates.
No, but his death was so final.
Yeah, exactly. And it would be kind of like if they went back and were retconning like stuff like Nemiel, that Dark Angel who got his head ripped off by the Lion. He's okay now. It took a while, but his neck needed to be bent back a bit.
Basically, it's kind of like Eddard Stark getting back into the game. By now.
Spoilers.
You can't spoil. I've seen all the episodes. Is that in the books? Are they reincarnating everybody?
Anyways,
warning. There might be spoilers on this channel because we're ranting, and these guys are reading books because they're not painting enough. I mean, Lesfar doesn't even have a painted army of anything at this point.
No, not really, no.
Luckily, he knows commission painters.
And have nothing to bribe them with.
However, if we're talking
He would
Primax,
paint some models for me.
that brings us into the whole, like, if the line gets back, Russ is an obvious candidate for bringing back.
Right now, we're drawing corners.
Yeah.
We're talking Primax again.
Yes,
We're sorry.
Unfortunately.
I want to talk Primax. That's my problem. I really want to talk Primax,
But,
because I am I'm totally on board with this.
Yeah.
Back when Gilliman were released and Magnus were released, again the whole internet were like, I don't like new things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, yes, you're doing it right now, because we've been waiting for this. This has been a maybe this will happen since I was a fucking kid painting Monopost Space Marines.
Mm-hmm.
The suspense was too long already.
Yeah.
Move the story forward. But my point was, we're drawing up corners. We are taking the ones who are least likely to ally right now.
Yeah.
Mortarion and Magnus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And from my point of view, the Lion and the Rowboat are not going to be the bestest of friends. No. So we are drawing up 4 corners.
Yeah.
The next Primarch added
4 corners.
Mortarion.
Okay, yeah, but
Magnus.
But they're still, we're putting them together.
No, I'm not, because Mortarion and Magnus are the least likely Chaos Primarchs to ally.
Yeah.
The Lion and Gilliman are the least likely loyal Primarchs to ally, from my perspective.
Yeah.
What they have to do to make this interesting is they can't just stack up on one faction. I know a lot of YouTube channels out there are theorizing that, okay, we know that the Chaos Primarchs are stronger than the Loyalist Primarchs, and we know that these two are coming, Mortarion and Magnus, so they have to put somebody besides Gilliman who can actually fight, because it is a fact that he is not the best fighter.
No,
actually, he is probably one of the worst fighters. But perhaps Alfarius is...
Loga is not very good either.
Loga doesn't have to be a good fighter because he's smart.
No.
It's like Gilliman keeps finding himself in fighting situations.
Yeah.
But we're getting into a new and very exciting territory.
Yeah.
That is actually an old and very exciting territory, but this drawing up the corners, and I'd like to take a whole episode on that.
Yeah.
And my mug is empty again.
Yeah. I still want to add that for the whole Civil War, I still really want it to be a 3-way Civil War, not a 2-way.
Because it's not gay if it's in a 3-way?
Also that. No, I want basically I want those. I want 2 factions fighting over control of the Imperium, and a 3rd faction who says, "Screw you guys, we're making our own Imperium over here."
You're kind of missing the point that already happened.
Yeah.
Except it happened twice.
Yeah.
Because you have the Dark Imperium.
Yeah.
You have the 500 Worlds.
Yeah.
You have the Solar Sector.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you already have all these, and as I understand it, a lot of planetary governors are like, Gilliman? Hey dog, yes, you want me to pay taxes?
Yeah.
Shouldn't you then, according to your book, have been protecting me for 10,000 years? Yeah. Well, you didn't, so I'm going solo, dude.
Yes, but I want that to actually happen all out in actual civil war.
But that's not not a faction that wants to do something with the Empire.
No,
the Imperium.
No.
A big problem here also is you have a lot of loyal customers who's been playing 7th edition where they could ally their pants off.
Yeah.
You can't come and tell me, for instance, let's say I was one of those players who were quick to hate.
Yeah.
And you suddenly tell me, oh, by the way, your Dark Angels are on this side of the barrier, so they can no longer ally with Imperial Knights, Skitarii, and Inquisition. From my perspective, I would be like, yay! Because I'd just do a narrative campaign and split them up. But I can imagine a lot of people who would get pretty pissed when they were told they could no longer combine these armies.
Although I would say there would be, no matter how you make the Civil War, there would also be Space Marine chapters that could not ally in any way whatsoever.
I disagree.
And so do I. Because the Space Marine chapters gets loaded now with the reinforcements.
Yeah.
There are a lot of them. We have a no communication rift across the galaxy. Elements of a chapter could be doing stuff that the rest of the chapter had no idea about.
That's true.
And you can have, like, say, I know it's unlikely, but say the chapter of the chapter master, company master of the 7th Company meets Gilliman. He is convinced by his arguments. I don't know who the chapter master of the 7th Company is.
That's it's more like it's a reserve company.
It's a reserve company. Okay. Let's say Balthazar meets Gilliman before he meets the Lion. Gilliman can be a pretty convincing fellow.
Yeah, Balthazar's a bad example, but yes.
Yeah, I know that. I felt that coming, but
don't pick my favorite character. Go pick somebody else.
Let's just start off. Take some
Dante
different chapter.
Actually meets Gilliman.
Yeah,
that happens in the lore.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Whoa, dude, you're a Primarch. This is awesome. You and my Gene Father used to have Imperium Secundus. We're all dying here. I think you're the bomb."
Yeah.
Also, you were closing this episode.
No, you were closing this episode.
Okay.
Can I have my jeans back?
No, you're a gene stealer. Come on, Sleeping Bears, close the episode.
So, first of all, if you want to improve the content of this channel, and right now we really need it, you can go to Patreon. There's a link right down below.
Yeah, somewhere here, not here.
Down here.
I think it's over there. But
next to the Devastator.
Next to the Devastator. You can go there, and also remember to subscribe. That's important.
Because otherwise you'll keep running into night errands and never see the good tutorials.
Exactly.
Also battle reports, because we're doing battle reports now.
Yeah.
yay!
So, thanks for tuning in, and bye-bye.
Bye-bye.